Start. Pop out chat. Then we'll go to QA. Gotta make an adjustment, that's all. Gotta make an adjustment. Hit that. So annoying. Alright, let's go back to the blank screen. Alright, so a little bit of a hiccup getting started there, but this is Chuck from Maverick's Arcade, and we are doing the live stream for Q&A and viewer mail. So let me go to our little Q&A session button. Now, if you guys are in watching on YouTube, you can actually go and click or enter in chat text, and it will show up here in the corner. Also, if you are using Discord, you and your lucky friends, I don't know why I said that, can go to the link on the screen, and it's also on that part, which is our Discord link. So you can join us in Discord and actually ask your questions directly. But what this is going to be primarily is just to give you an update and to look through my email and respond to you guys directly. Going to give this a try. I figure it might be easier to answer people's questions, give them a little bit of limelight, which could be fun. So let's see here. Again, sorry for the weird startup. That was annoying. So let me see. First, we have a question from. This was about an interview. So let me see. Vance Matheson. My issue was with the naming IDs. I couldn't get it to the text trick to work with using command, but I slowed it down and went into device and printers, and I got the IDs anyway. I then plug in your info from the video, and the guns work beautifully now. Thanks for doing the video. Made these guns worth the purchase, finally, and they've been sitting on the shelf for the last 3 years. Awesome. I'm glad I could help you, Vance, and I am going to put a little note so that you can... I guess that the link isn't there yet. I haven't done the live stream in this manner before, but let me see if I click that. Yeah, that'll give us the link, which I can then go over and in my email just reply and say, you are mentioned in the video at glad you were able to get the guns working. Yay! So that's cool. Like I said, this gives me the, wow. I promise, as this gets better, so will my, videos and the quality and consistency of what I'm trying to do. Let me also pull up my Discord to make sure that if any of you guys do join me in there, that I can see it. And it is over here. And the room is empty right now. It's very sad. But I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe you guys will jump in here. So then, let's look at the next email. What do we got? We've got from Jesse D. Let's see. He's saying, first of all, thanks for making your YouTube videos on Everything Arcade. I'm a subscriber and I think they're a great resource. I've been working my way through them. Let me see. Is there anything on this? Well, it's got his email, so I don't want to share that. I'm in the design phase of my arcade build, and I was wondering what dedicated CPU setup you recommend. Try to balance between budget and future possibility of the launch box on my front end. I'm looking to emulate MAME, NES, Mega Drive, Taito, Mugen, whatever that is. Emulating PS2 in the future. Let me give him the little link saying you were mentioned in this video. Again, that's a good way to get people to watch the video more. So I'm going to try. Well, yeah, try anyway. And let me also go over here. on my spare laptop to the side so I can also see extra. Oh, look at that. My reliable Justin's in there. I will get to your question in one moment, Justin. But let me see. You are mentioned in this video here. As far as processors go, I have an i3 in my arcade now, and I eventually will upgrade it to an i7 because the PS2 has a little bit of frame skip and jitter issues. Go super powerful, and you can't go wrong. But lower end processors will work fine for MAME. Chuck! Alright, so we got someone live. Definitely want to take care of the live people first. And it's working. His message is showing up on the stream, which makes me very happy. This is the first time I've tried to stream the YouTube chat. Let me see. Do your aim guns have the recoil feature? My recoil basically stopped working one day in the aim track software. I can get the test to work fine, but MAME and other emulators have stopped working. Oh, and I got somebody in Discord, so it means I gotta go to the headphones. Let me see where he is in Discord. Let me say howdy here. And he's in, okay, so he's not in the room yet. Let me see, because this is the first time I've tried to have people coming in here. Are you able to get in a room? Question mark. Don't know. Maybe. So, that might be... Well, I don't know if the recoil is supposed to get the interaction from the... Yeah, I don't have the recoil feature. I know it's... I thought it was just directly tied to the gun. I don't think it comes... Any output comes from MAME that I'm aware of. I don't know. I would definitely reach out to Andy at Ultimark on that one. Let me put the answer in here too, just so that other people can see it. Definitely reach out to Andy at Ultimark on that issue. If you find an answer, please let me know so I can share it next time. Okay, so let's see. He's over there. Let me see if I could pull him into this channel. No, he's just in there. Just install this. I follow the link on YouTube. How do I enter the room? On the left-hand side, are you able to see interview room or green room or quiet room? Are you able to double-click on any of those? That should be the right way to go. But okay, so let me see. So we've got that one answered. Let me throw that back. I might have to figure out what's the setting on my Discord. But yeah, there should be an interview room, and you should be able to double click it. Let me make sure that the interview room is open. Permissions, everyone should be able to view the channel, yes. Speak, yes. And that's default. Let's see. Alright, so you should be able to view the channel now. You may not have been able to view it before, but you should be able to view and connect now. Thanks. Yeah, definitely send him an email. As far as AC set up, there you are. Are you able to hear me, AC? Set up, there you are. There you go. Able to hear me, AC? He went back to the green room. All right. That worked. So if you connect again, just put on headphones so I don't hear myself. Okay, good. So it's working. All right, so you're gonna send him an email now. Back to, let's see, my next email here. We've got Ryan Shumway. He's got a couple questions. So I've already done most of the emulation and front end software done, and I started sketching the cabinet out. My controller uses a 46 by 19, so I don't want to go larger than 50, but I feel it may be large when playing as close as we are. Yeah. Your layout looks much nicer with the monitor you were using. What size did you go with, and do you wish it was larger or smaller? On another note, after watching one of your videos, it persuaded me to go with the servo stick versus the ultra stick. Are you still happy with the servo stick? Yes, I definitely am. And let me give you the little link to come look at this answer. But yeah, so the check it out for the answer. Yes, this is definitely forced viewership on my videos, damn it. So yes, Ryan, to answer your question, originally, when I was playing in my arcade, I was just going to use the 32-inch monitor I had upstairs. But when I went to hook it up, I realized it didn't hit the full 1080 resolution, which kind of annoyed me. So I had another screen sitting around, and it's a 40-inch. And I love the size. It seems to be perfect. The gun games, I can get a pretty good distance and still see the targets very easily. Even playing the games when you're up real close, it works for the nostalgia. And here's the reason why. Is because, yes, the screen is large. But for me, it's the nostalgia of remembering when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, those little screens were quite large. So for me, it just feels more like when I was a child, seeing those screens so huge. Definitely makes the whole experience a lot more fun for me. Let me see here. Okay, good. So everything there is correct. I gave him the answer back in the email. And we've got Antonio Correa. All right, so I am following from Portugal. Oh, wow. I send you photos of my setup so you can have an idea. Oh, yay, photos. So, let me... Yeah, this would be fun. So let me just grab all this. Let me see. Oh, I can scroll down so his email address is hidden. Yeah. And now let me throw on that monitor on the output. Well, doesn't really help much with all that stuff in the way, but it is what it is. Let's see. So he's got my question. Okay, so let's first look at what this stuff is. This looks pretty cool. So he's got his PC. He's got some USB ports on top. It looks like an external hard drive. Man, that son of a bitch, he's got the coins. He's got the coin slot there. Let me see. Give you guys some room to see this too. So he's got the coin slot up there. Man, that's nice. I like it. Let's see what the next one is. So he's got static color buttons, except for down on the bottom. So he does have blinking activity for coin insert and player 1 and player 2. I love that retro look of the front here. That's awesome. And then, yeah, so he's got the coin slot machine right there. Oh, he's got side buttons here. I wonder if those are flippers. And then he's got it. Okay, so he's got just this base. Looks like, no, because there's a screen in there. I guess he outputs to the side as well. And he's got aim track guns. He's obviously playing some Operation Wolf. Good choice. So let's go back to his question. I'm going to shut the screen back off. So he ordered the spin track USB wheel and the large height and the spinner large for the front. Don't let me see. Oh, are you going to, so you're going to rebuild your cabinet? My question is for MAME. Is it easy to set up or are there no conflicts, right? Well, MAME shouldn't have any conflicts because you run it directly, but probably a lot of your games, including Operation Wolf, are probably already running through MAME. I believe Hyperspin just launches MAME in the background. But again, I need to get Hyperspin. I haven't used or tested it yet, so I'm speaking out my ass a little bit. But my question is to use in other emulators through Hyperspin. For example, I have a Logitech G27 to work with the arcade. I have to disconnect my joysticks. Having trouble making everything in the setup work, so I'm now adding a spin track, and will continue to have trouble. After adding this, I think it'll be perfect for me. Also, I have to mention that there's another 4x USB, like the one in the photo, to use two PS2 remote connect with the adapter. In the future, I'd like to have a way to extra screen to place in front of the arcade at 90 degrees when I need to play some games on my arcade. When I need for some games instead of my arcade, there my screen is 270 degrees. When I need to place it at the front, I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand this question here. Let me also quickly glance back at my chat to make sure I'm not missing anything crazy. Okay, so Justin's going to send him an email. That's good. And let me check down in my Discord. Oh, so he's getting some headphones for the thing. Oh! That's crazy. Antonio is the one trying to jump into a Discord. Get your headphones, man. I'm going to answer you directly. Where's your headphones? So, well, that's cool. Shit. Alright, so I can't play with the guns in conditions. Alright, well, discussed online. Let's see, do we got anybody else join? How many people are? Do we have anybody in here? We got 6 people watching. That's cool. It's better than I was expecting. Can't play with the guns and the connections. Did you grab some headphones? Come on. Let's go, Antonio. Well, he's trying to get some headphones. Let me give you guys a quick update on how my Halloween went. So check it out. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Breaking Bad, but this was my Halloween. Those are the drugs I was preparing. And that was me dressed as Heisenberg. And I even got my little Los Pollos Hermanos bucket. I was giving these out at school. And having little kids at a party run around, giving them to their parents, saying the first one's free. And then the switch I was talking about in my last video, I just wired it up. And I hooked that little switch up there. Hooked the switch like that. And just put it right there on my back of my control panel. So now, as you can see, right here is where the switch is. So now when I flip that switch off, everything shuts down. I don't have that USB problem. It will not change to the iMac and solve this, George. So then there's the HDMI port that I added to the back so that I can output to my capture card and get better screen captures for you guys of the games. And that's me again as Heisenberg for poker. So that's my update for how my holiday or my Halloween went. Not that you guys care. Let me see. Yes, I get it. Now I'm trying to put this working at the iPad. If not, I will change to the Mac and solve this. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and come back to you, Antonio, since you're watching. Go ahead and let's get some connectivity where you can have some headphones so I don't hear my voice loop back. And we can have a great conversation and get you guys, try to get you squared away on your questions. Let's go back to my email and move to the next one. I love that you guys sent pictures, man. That's awesome. Okay, so then I've got, that's a friend of mine trying to do some interview, which would be cool. Okay, so we got one from David Hart. Says, I hope you're doing Hope you're doing well. Don't mind me contacting you. Of course I don't mind. I have a few questions. Let me give this guy the link you are mentioned in the video. At this reply. But questions on the Ultra Stick 360, which I'm hoping you may be able to advise. I have 2 of these at present. I'm currently finalizing my testing config before I build an actual cab. At present, I've been using the stick in USB mode with the 8 game pads that naturally appear in Windows. If I want to add additional buttons per stick, could I maintain the USB functionality of the stick and achieve more buttons through using an iPack 2? Okay. If this were a yes, then would it be the maximum buttons available for 2 Ultra sticks on one single iPack 2? I see you have fitted a servo motor and controller to the stick. I can't say anything about this online, only the servo stick. What parts would I need to buy to achieve this? I would only want to power both sticks ideally and continue to use UltraMap for selection in combination with USB joystick mode. The potential iPack method for the buttons, question 1 is if at all is possible. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. If you have USB channels for the sticks, I'd just continue with that method and leave the channels open on the iPack 2 for other buttons, because then you just get more inputs available. If you tie up the inputs on an iPack board, then you can't use them for other things. Let me see what's okay. Yeah, so I would just leave the buttons on the USB mode, and any other buttons that you want to have put on the iPack 2, but I would just keep them separated. As far as the second part of your question, that is just a silly hack I did for myself, which is not recommended by Ultimark. So if you want the servo, get the servo stick. If you want the 360, don't consider using the servo motors. Andy had sent me a bunch of parts, and I just decided, since I already bought the Ultra sticks to the 360s, to go ahead and try to put a servo motor on them, but that's not official, so you will not find any documentation on that. In fact, he had told me, he's like, why did you do that? So, yeah. What parts do I need to buy? Hypothetically, you would just need the servo motors from a servo stick, but again, it's not recommended. UltraMap for selection combination of USB chip. Okay. So question 3. Question 2 seems a more realistic option, assuming the physical restriction. Okay. Yeah, according to Andy, if you want the physical restriction, that's the servo stick. And those are analog switches. If you want the restriction to occur in the Ultra Stick 360, do it strictly through the software. No physical restriction. So that's the official answer. It'd be interesting. I'm building aiming a hybrid joystick of the racing cab with a mechanism to mechanically hide the racing wheel in joystick mode at the same time as leaning back. Jesus Christ, dude, really? You're going to make a transforming... That's what it sounds like. You're going to make a transforming arcade cabinet? So let me read this again, just so that you guys can hear this. If it's of interest, the cab I am building is aiming to be a hybrid joystick and racing cab, with the mechanism to mechanically hide the racing wheel in joystick mode, and at the same time as leaning back the monitor so the joystick mode can be played in a standing up position. So he's looking to have this arcade cabinet as a stand-up cabinet. And then a wheel pop out and the monitor tilt back down so it could be in a racing game. Dude, you've got to send me pictures to that. That is insanely crazy. Insanely crazy. Definitely watch the video. I freaked out a bit. Dude, if you get this shit set up, you have got to let me interview you and get some pictures and videos, because that is just insane. Let's see here. Greetings. Oh, I got some more mess. I got to get better look at the YouTube chat, you guys. Hold on. Let me see what you guys got over here. I've tried the U360s, both input and output mode. Doesn't work well at all. I agree with Maverick on this one. Okay, Justin, cool. Thank you for the support. Greetings from Mexico. You call me a puto. That's not very cool. Saludos. I think puto's bad, right? It's like bitch. Okay. Well, greetings anyway. I think. Yeah. I think that's not nice. So I'll remove that one. I don't speak Spanish, but I'll leave greetings from Mexico because that's cool. Remove. XD. You hating. Probably don't even know what we're talking about. But anyway, if you got a question, let me know. You're just going to be trolling. Psst, psst. So anyway, let's see here. This answers that question. Oh, he's back now. Let's see if we can get... Let's see. Okay, so he's in there in the blue guy mode. You're able to hear me with headphones now, Antonio. Maybe I pulled the wrong account in. Okay, so you're hearing me. I just don't hear you right now. Check and make sure that yours is set. Oh, I may not have. Hold on a minute. I think I know why. There's an option in here to allow you to use voice activity. Otherwise, you have to push a stupid button. Let's see. Try talking now. Alright, down on the bottom there should be a little user settings button. And you can check that and do voice activity. Go under voice and video and check under input mode. Voice activity, and make sure the microphone is set to the right microphone. See if that makes a difference. Till I hear you, I will move on. I do not hear you yet. Let's see. Like on help. Okay, so that was all from here. Grassa? Hell, grass. Oh, Lord. Alright, let's see here. I don't need that anymore. I figure out what the fuck Grassa is. What the fuck is that? Anyway. I don't know what that is. It's all good. Alright, so let's see. Now let me go to another YouTube pop-up and see what other people have been asking. And I think this... Let me go verify in my settings that there's nothing sticking out that I want you guys I'm worried about. Nope. Okay, so let me view all content. It's so nice I finally figured out how to see all the contents. Before I was having to manually go and look through every video to find the damn thing. It was a pain in the ass. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to SDLG. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Just block it from chat people just want to be donkey. That's fine. Okay, so let's see here. We've got... so another reason why I like to... like anybody who leaves a comment is also for me to know where I've left off. Let me see. 600 subs. Okay. Good video. Tried setting mine up and it works okay, but half the time it won't register. So, a dialogue. Okay. This might... Wonder. Question. Are you using powered USB hubs? If so, consider adding a master power switch to make sure they turn off when not in use. Solution. Oh, let me. Her question was directly addressed in the following video live stream. Yeah, I think that's how I'll do it. All right. And let me put a like here. Okay, so then let me also see how my Discord buddy's doing. No, he's not in there. Let me. Okay, you're in the interview room. I don't know if you'll be able to work, but let's see. Give it a try. We'll figure it out. If not, I'll go back and try to finish answering your question. Let me see. After configuring one light gun, for some reason it's only showing that it is shooting off screen, but when I put the gun direct, I can see it tracking correctly, but it will not shoot with the trigger. Configuring one light gun, for some reason it's only showing that it's shooting off screen, but when I put the gun direct, I can see it tracking correctly, but it will not shoot the trigger. Which emulator are you using? Is this going through rocket launcher with bezels enabled? This can cause a lot of problems with the guns. Try launching from MAME directly. Okay, so that'll answer that. Okay. Wow, we got a bunch to respond to. Let me look at my chat. Okay, besides the douchebag who left, we're good right now. We got 5 people watching. That's cool. Let me see. Like I said, this would be a better way for me to just answer. Okay, I'm using a Dominix 8 premium leaf switch joystick. Huh. So he gave us a link to see what this joystick is, and the link's not found. Was not found on the server. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. Let's try looking for just... If that doesn't work, then let me see if... let's see, products. Pokemon Go. Okay, let's see. What the hell is this? Play PS4 on a keyboard and mouse? Ooh, that sounds interesting alone. But let me see. Dominix 8. Can't be many of those things out there. Premium Leaf Joystick. Groovy Game Gear has an example of it. Okay. So it's just a simple little... let me throw this monitor up there. As you can see, what he's talking about is just a little funky joystick here. Let me switch off the that won't. Let me see it. Hold on. Live stream. Let's turn off the other stuff for a second just so you guys can see what that is. So you can see there, it's the just a little regular joystick and with different color ball options. Okay, so that's what that is. Let's turn the YouTube chat back on. And then, so what his question is. Yeah, it looks like we're losing Antonio. Let's see here. The joystick works just on and off. I need a joystick that works incremental progressions. Example, dual shot. Power range, and not just on or off. So the Ultra Stick without USB, which I understand will need an adapter to connect it to my cards. Thanks. So send me the schema. Well, I don't know what those are. He's supposed to be going to Ultimark. Ultra Stick. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. So let me reply to this and say. The above joystick. The one you're talking about, and it does analog tracking. Yeah. Send a friend request. I will definitely take. Sure, let me add you in there. There's my friend. Alright, so, and now you're in here. Are you able to hear me, Antonio? Let me make sure. Well, you were able to broadcast before because I heard you. Yeah, you got to check and make sure your input device is set correctly and it's set for voice activity. And that it's low enough to catch. Not sure what's going on there. I hear you. Do you? I have voice connected. Yeah, but it's not showing you. You got to check in your settings and make sure that it's not set to like use a specific key to speak, because I'm not seeing your little icon show at all that you're actually attempting to talk. So it's not actually queuing up to attempt to talk on my side. But let me see. The above joystick is one you're talking about. Does analog tracking. It definitely is great when you need to track like a PS2. The adapter is so the joystick runs as a USB joystick. When you order, just make sure to choose the USB option. Actually, the bottom of the joystick is a USB. Yeah, the bottom interface is a mini USB interface. And then I'm going to say the that poor guy is trying to get his thing to still work. And we got that. Oh, thanks. So I was saying the star. Thank you, Nigel. Hilly. What do you think of the Ultralux buttons? So let me. Personally, I love them. They allow me to color each game to the original buttons.
Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, I hear you.
Now you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it was the app. I had to install the app because via web browsing it was not working.
Gotcha. Okay, well, let me see here. One moment. Let me finish this one. Personally, I love them. They allow me to color each game buttons, the original buttons. Highly recommend them. And tell the guy this is the video that he can see that response on. Now, let me go back to your question, which had the pictures, which I thought was cool. Let me see. Going back down to where you at? Damn it. Where are you at? Your email. What was, no, it's not Vance.
No, it was Antonio with the spin track instead of questions.
There you go. Okay, so open this up.
Well, as you see at my arcade, I have a space at the front. I already have the spin track here. What I'm going to do is to make a hole in the middle and install the spin track, and I have the wheel already there as well.
Okay, in the middle, well, I'm trying to see, because in the first picture, okay, so the first picture I see is the one it looks like it's the back of the arcade on the inside.
Yeah, that's the inside of my arcade, yes.
So then I look at the second one, and I see you have a couple buttons underneath.
Yeah.
You can see on the stream what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so the spin track will be at the middle, between the 1 player and 2 players buttons.
Okay, and that's okay. Flat like this?
Yeah.
So what are you getting, like because the spin track's small.
Yeah, it's very small.
So let me get this straight, just so you can see on the stream what I'm doing here. So you're gonna be playing with the game, and you're gonna be doing this the whole time.
A bit, yes, unfortunately.
Okay, just making sure.
You see, the problem of my arcade, it's because the arcade is made for the 80s games more, if you see, because of the angle, That's why for me to play the aim track games, with the gun, I have to use another screen, because I cannot play with the screen like 45 degrees, right?
Right. So one thing you could do also, though, is on the other video I made before this one, I show basically I just went and got an HDMI port. Yeah. Plug that right back on the back. So that might make your arcade look a little nicer too. So when you do plug in that external screen, you just plug in an HDMI port.
Yeah. I was thinking something like that, to put the screen in the front of the arcade when I need for the games that I need that to be at straight, right? At front.
Now, as far as the wheel goes, what are you thinking to do? Are you thinking of like having an attachment or something that will go on the spin track to make the wheel seem larger?
Yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to discuss as well, because I have to get some ideas for that,
Right.
Because the space, as you see, the space of the arcade, I don't have much space to put.
That's narrow.
So even the arcade, when I got the arcade, this was an old arcade that I modified.
Gotcha.
So it came with only 6 buttons at the top, as you see, but one of the buttons was the 1 player button. So and at the sides I had only 1 button in each side. So I made an upgrade, as you see. From the sides now I have 2 buttons. Why 2 buttons? Because I needed for the pinball the tilts, So I put the tilts at the left and right, so like to simulate that we're playing like in a real pinball. And I put the coin buttons, as you see. The coin buttons. In the past, I had, if you see at the middle, I have like a small button there, black. That button was the old coin button. Now it's the pause button. So I have a pause button there, and if you see on the second player, at the middle of the second player and the coin at your side, you see another black button. That's the escape button. So the arcade, it's running through Hyperspin now, When I got it, first I installed it only MAME. Now it's running perfectly hyperspin. I made even the computer is much better than the first computer that was there. First computer was a Pentium dual core, and now it's got a i5 overclock. I put a GeForce 730 DDR5. So now it's running perfectly. Nice. For example, the Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast. You know, my goal was always to make arcades from the 80s. That was when I was a kid till the end of the arcades. That was like Daytona, Crazy Taxi, Sega Rally. Now it's running everything now. Right. The problem is that I have some conflicts, as I told you at the email.
See, I'm not sure about the conflicts because for me, when it comes to things like MAME and stuff like that, I haven't had a problem as long as all the devices have different names. So if I get two generic USB joysticks and they both say direct input 1, then I have problems telling those apart. But if they're separate names, I haven't had any issues yet of having that duplicate problem. One thing I'm checking out now while I've got you on here is I'm wondering, because I see the spin track, and what you might have to consider doing is if there is a way.
Yeah.
Because the spin track is just a little stick, a metal stick that comes up. You would have to make your own steering wheel that would screw onto that in order to get.
Yeah, I have an old steering wheel there that I wanted to take advantage of it. It was a Trustmark 32, one of the first steering wheels that had for PC. I think it's like from GP2, you remember?
Yeah, my only concern also, though, is that if you have the spin track off to the side like that, you put a steering wheel on it, how heavy it is may cause it to bend.
Yeah.
Over time. So that's not an easy question. Now I know that they sell steering wheels, but I don't know if they have, because I know I'm checking the Ultimarks now, because that's just primarily the site that I've ever worked with. But I haven't. For me, it was only Ultimark because they had all the light up buttons and one easy board. But I haven't looked at a lot of the other accessories.
Yeah, from Ultimark, I just got the one of the guns, and I ordered the second one, but I want the other one to be in black as well, and it's out of stock, so I'm waiting for them to send me.
Holy shit! Are you talking about this 160mm wheel? Is that what you're talking about? Look at this. This is funky.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
that's
I have that.
Okay, so they're actually saying that it's made to go on that device.
Yeah, I have the pieces here. I could send you a photo, from the pieces that I got.
Well, no, that's fine, because I've done the spin track plenty of times, so I understand that.
I can tell you what I ordered. I ordered the small wheel. I ordered the large spin, right?
Flywheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I ordered the version, USB version, because my arcade it's made with that USB hubs, as you see. So I don't have the other mark, the other board from Ultimark. I use the ones that are from China or something.
Gotcha. Yes, and the USB it doesn't matter. So
yeah, so it's working perfectly. So
good deal.
One less problem for me.
Right.
So and the weight. I have the large weight. I don't know if I'm. That's the big doubt that I have. Should I got the smaller weight, the larger weight? I got the larger weight to put at the spin track.
Yeah, that's just going to be how it feels. It won't affect functionality at all.
Yeah.
The flywheel, all that's doing is it makes it so that if you were to spin the wheel real hard with a heavier flywheel, it's going to take a little more effort to get it moving because it's just going to you're going to feel that weight on it. But once you spin it, the heavier weight's going to make it keep going longer.
Yeah.
That's that's feeling. That's not functionality.
Yeah, but maybe it's the effect that I pretend. Yes, so it was a good choice then.
Yeah.
The biggest problem that I see here is the configurations in the other hyperspin machines, because MAME it's working perfectly. I even got a pedal for the gun. The time crisis game, you need to have a pedal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got that as well. So things are very organized at the arcades. So my biggest problem is the conflict that I have in some stuff. That, for example, that's why I have the hubs with the on and off. Because imagine I'm putting Sega Model 2, for example. If I want to play a game that I need to have a remote, because I already connected there the remotes are from the PS2. I have to disconnect the other joysticks, because if not, he makes conflicts, and he doesn't recognize the remotes.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if that's a hyperspin issue, because I know in MAME I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's very clear that you enter, you configure the stuff, and it's pretty easy. For example, with the M track, I think it's Sega Model 2 or 3. There's some gun games like Virtua Cop, House of the Dead, and you have some issues there. One of the issues there is the reload of the weapon, that you have to shoot outside the screen. Sometimes he jumps to the Windows window,
Right.
So it's kind of bugs.
Well, I've noticed with Hyperspin and Rocket Launcher that usually you'll have to shut off the bezels. To get them to operate correctly through Hyperspin. We had another person that was having that problem majorly, and we went through and what we ended up doing was converting it so that he actually launched the game through MAME instead, because in MAME directly, the bezels work fine. But when running it through Rocket Launcher, you'd have to turn the bezels off for the gun games to work properly. We did notice that.
Well, that's a tip for me to check then.
Yeah, I would definitely try that. See if you might have to just not have the bezels working in Hyperspin, because Hyperspin in Rocket Launcher makes everything look real nice.
Yeah.
But with some of the gun games, we have noticed that the functionality gets kind of sketchy.
And the aim track, when I got the second gun, do you think I'm going to have some troubles configuring it?
I don't think so. I didn't have any issues. What I did was I went back and I set the... you have to set the original gun to like ID 2.
Yeah, that had changed on the first gun. I think I had to put ID 3 at the first gun, so now I'm thinking to put ID 4 when I receive the other gun.
Yeah, and that's a good idea, because then that way you won't have to reconfigure anything for player 1.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to just add stuff for player 2, and that way if you, for some god-awful reason, added a third gun, you'd be able to not have to reconfigure anything else except for the new gun. So yeah, that's what I do. Is I've seen some people leave it as gun 1 with the ID of 1, and that just can cause problems later, because when you go to add that other gun, you might be, why is it not working? So, but yeah, definitely, and make sure to have those IDs set, and you'll be okay. But yeah, the only time, like I said, in MAME, I don't think you'll have a problem if you follow my videos. Unfortunately, I don't have Hyperspin on my setup yet. I have a friend that I'm going to be sending a hard drive to. He's going to copy a drive for me, like 8 terabytes. So then I'll get to try some of those other emulators and stuff. But I would say just make sure that you have the IDs separate. You put them all in MAME. If you can't get it to work through Hyperspin, try to launch it through MAME directly and see if that makes a difference.
Yeah. So and then the last problem that I have, beside the installation of the spin track, it's like I told you, the screen, because I have to figure out an idea that I can put you see the photo that I send off the M track, that's my LCD, So when I want to play with guns, I have to play it on the LCD. So I wanted to put like an extra screen in front of the arcade when it's necessary. I'm just thinking it's like an idea to install it, like put it and leave in the to be. I'm trying to figure out the word. Well, to for easy installation, to edit and to take it off whenever I want it.
Well, it might seem. Do you use that screen for other things normally?
No, to be honest, no.
One thing you might want to consider doing, and you'll have to fabricate something yourself, would be maybe if you had the screen mounted. Now you said you have pinball too. I need to work on getting pinball to work on my arcade, because I even have an accelerometer inside it. So once I configure the arcade, I'll be able to bump the arcade to get that movement. But I haven't done it yet. But one thing you may want to consider is some of those pinball machines, you could put the marquee and some of the pinball art if you had a second monitor on that other screen.
Yeah.
So what you might want to consider doing is, if you can find a bracket or make a bracket where it's got like an arm, you could mount the screen to the side of the arcade. And when you wanted to play a gun game, rotate the monitor out.
Like an L, right?
Right. Something like that, so it would swing out from the side of the arcade.
Yeah.
And then that way you would just shoot to the side of the arcade where the screen would be hanging, and your sensor bar would stay mounted on top and swing with the arcade.
Yeah.
If I was in your shoes, that's probably what I would look to do.
Yeah. If not, I have to do another arcade machine.
You'll have to build another cabinet.
To have two at home.
Right. Well, you could build another cabinet, or you could try the swing thing. Now, if you do the swing arm, swing arm, you could actually look to possibly have those extra screens from the pinball show up on that side screen, which could be kind of cool.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
So, yep, that's the ideas I got. That's the best I got. Oh, somebody's chatting. Hold on, who's this? Love channel. I'm finishing up my bar top. And have you... Okay, I will answer those questions for you, too, in a moment, Sherrock. But, yeah, so I think if you have any other questions for me, Antonio.
No, I think I'm good. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, stay tuned. Keep watching my videos. I appreciate it. I think last week, I'm sorry I'm making everybody see the advertisements now, but I made $10 last month. And I guarantee you that $10 will go back into my arcade. So anyway, stay tuned.
Sure, man.
Let me see what else I can do. Let's answer some other questions. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, man. Bye. Yeah, you can hang out and listen. You don't have to go anywhere, but shh. All right, let me see. We are looking back at comments. Let me look at my live questions first, because obviously live takes precedence. It's going much better than it did last time I tried this. Let me see. I figured out I emailed you about this problem. Well, it was, the rocket launcher bezel. Yep. Remember, love the channel. I'm finishing up my bar top. I love those little bar tops. And I have a few questions about your experience with the iPac Ultimate. I'm certainly happy to answer those questions. I'm putting together a rather ambitious setup. It's trying to operate 2 flight sticks, 2 buttons, 8-way, 2 6-button standard joysticks, 12 RGB LEDs, and a HAP trackball. Do you think that would work? Trying to remember offhand how many inputs because you're going to have 12 RGBs. Let's see, 6, 12, so that's not a problem. 2 buttons, 8-way. Are the 2 flight sticks their USB interface? Sherrock? And actually, I should type this in here too. Are they USB, or the flight sticks USB interface? No, they're the Ultimark ones. Okay, let me pull that up. Let me look. Ultimark ones, because I do not have their flight sticks. I'm going to end up having to build another arcade, but I promised my wife I'll buy a house, and we will own a house in the basement. I mean, this sucks. I got my cool arcade. I wanted everybody to come over and play it. I live in a townhouse that we rent, and where there's no parking. So it means nobody can come over, which sucks. But Yeah. But there's like so many driving things I want to build, or flight sticks and stuff. So I'm going to have to build another arcade one day. But I promised my wife I would not build any more in the space we're in now. Okay, joysticks and buttons. Let's see, joystick. Joystick. There's the flight stick. So you're talking about the 8-way. Is it a mini grip stick? Here we go. They're digital. I've got mine trained pretty well. Shh, she's upstairs. No, but are we talking about the mini grip stick? Yes, mini grip. Okay, let's take a look at that. So I'm thinking, depends on how it connects in. Okay, so it's got the standard. Oh, no, that's not the. Because the thing is, if it's USB, then you got nothing to worry about. Okay, so it's a mini grip stick. And it's got the trigger. So very cool trigger. Joy, blah, blah, blah. I would love to have more information. Top button wrong with the front trigger. Okay, so in other words, this joystick would have the 4 switches for the directional control. And then it's got 2 extra buttons for the top and the trigger. So that means you are talking about 6 inputs per arcade joystick. So let's go back to your original question. So we're really talking about 6 inputs. So 12 inputs. Let me see on my. Now you're setting up only 2 players, right? Now let me give my disclaimer here. I would recommend, as you're ordering the parts, you run it by Andy. Only because he's asked me to make sure that questions like that may cause issues, that I have you guys just check with him first. But with that being said, let me see. I believe you should be fine with the number of inputs and everything like that. Then the question is going to be how many other buttons you have. Because, I mean, I have on my arcade a left and right flipper and a plunger and a start and a stop button and a pause button. So all those are extra buttons that you would not be using. Is able to play dual stick virtual on. Has to be able to play dual stick virtual on. Ooh, see, look at Justin. Helping out. Oh, okay, you're talking about the iPac 4. Okay. See, I have the iPac Ultimate because it's got the RBG. So he's saying I have to go with. It's like 3 inputs too small. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 6-button standard joystick setups, 12 RGB LEDs, and a half trackball. Yeah, it's going to be close. I think you could do it, Shirok, but Justin may be correct here that if you want to have a little bit extra input. Now, the only downside to that is if you're doing, as Justin suggested, the iPac 4 with the iPac LEDs separated, then it's just going to be a little bit more work wiring things up and so forth. That would be the only downside. But yeah, what I would say though is definitely run those by. Tell Andy what your needs are, and he will give you his recommendation. The thing is, if you could get away with an iPac IO, then that would be $100 versus 2 iPac 4 or an iPac 4, which would be $65, and then the iPac. Where's the iPac LED? The iPac LED. Where the fuck is that thing? Oh, the rotary joystick. Oh. Shit. I can't find it. But yeah. But yeah, where in the hell is the pack LED 64? Come on, where are you at? It's probably right in front of my face. Anyway. Yes. Let me see, I already got good. I've already got the stuff, so I'm thinking the second controller for the flight sticks would be a good idea. I then map to player 1, then just plug a USB when I want to use it. Second controller. Alright, yeah, you should be okay though. You should be okay, just give it a try. By controller, I mean a zero delay controller or something. Yeah, I mean, well, you said which one do you currently have? Do you have the Ultimate right now? Which one do you currently have right now? Okay. Yeah, you have the Ultimate. So the thing is, the Ultimate will take 56 inputs. Or 48 inputs. And it will take up to 36, I got my little calculator up here. And it will take 96 LEDs. No. What the fuck is going on with my brain, man? It's got... Hold on, let me look at the board here. Yeah, it's got 96 LED channels. So that means 36 RGB or 32 RGB buttons. So as far as your RGB count, you're going to be plenty fine on that. As far as the 48 inputs, we got 48 inputs to start. We've got 6 inputs per joystick. Minus 6, minus 6, minus another 12 for the 6 buttons on each side. So yeah, we had, where did I start again? 56, 48, minus 12 for the joysticks, minus 12 for the buttons. That still leaves you 24 inputs. So then the, where's, standard button joysticks, 12 edge RBs, and a HAP trackball. Yeah, so the HAP trackball would be up on the player 3 or the player 4 options. So there's plenty of inputs on that. Yeah, dude, that should be plenty fine. You shouldn't have a problem at all. And then the only other buttons that you're going to be considering are going to be, are you doing static buttons for coin, start, things like that? Or are they going to be RGB? You still have plenty of room for the RGB. Also, to give you an idea, on my arcade, I need to write this down. I have 6 per play for 2 players. So I got 12 there, RGBs. Then I have a stop and a pause button. I have left flipper, right flipper, and then I have a plunger. And then I have 4 coins, 4 starts. And so that's 12, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 plus 8. What is that? 17. So 25 RGB buttons. Yeah, so I got 25 RGB buttons, and then I have some of the leftover LEDs I had. I drilled holes in the bottom of my arcade cabinet, so I have LED lights on the bottom for like ground effects. So, yeah, you should be okay. I mean, that should give you plenty. The one thing I would recommend, though, is as you begin setting this up, update the firmware before you do anything. I've noticed some of those other inputs, the devices and everything, the inputs don't take. They register badly. And then both times I install one of these boards, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I update the firmware. Everything works perfectly. So before you start, update that firmware. And you should be good. Cool. Yeah. Did you ever use a 3 amp LED outs on the Ultimate? Did you ever use the 3 amp LED outs? Are you talking about the ones that are... Let me pull up the board. Are you talking about the ones that have that little bridge? They're like little white bridges at the top. Is that what you're talking about by 3 amp? Okay. Perfect video for you to watch. Let me go to the hacking deodor lights. Yeah. Watch my video on hacking IKEA deodor lights. Now they are using more. They're using the 12 volt. So what I actually did is I spliced off of my computer's power supply. I run those into the LED lights from IKEA. I took the IKEA deodor lights, I cut the control boards off, and then I plugged the LEDs directly. And then that's how I control my marquee. And it's got 2 channels, one on each of the blocks. So what you do is, if you're using 1 through 3 and the other range of numbers for the top, do not use the pins underneath it. It's one or the other, not both. But when I screwed those in, you also have to set up in the firmware saying that those are using high power devices. And in my video for hacking IKEA deodor lights, it shows you how to do that. Let me go to that and I'll link it here in the page just so you have it. It's definitely one of my older videos. Where's hacking deodor? Logitech speakers light. Yeah, it's my second video that I ever created.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get grammar.
And that is right here. So that link right there takes you to the deodor lights. Don't watch it now. Stay with us. But that does give you how to take those IKEA lights, in my case, hack them, and hook up external power so that you're not expecting that power to come off of the Ultimate board. All right, let's see here. We got some other comments on here. Just watching the video, and no points to the picture of the cabinet behind you is from this edge to this edge. I don't think your pointer is showing. Yeah, Laren, I noticed that after posting. I think you were able to get the gist. Gist, that's G-I-S-T, I think. If not, I'll check, clarify. Alright, yeah. So let's see, can you install this in an iCade 60-in-1? The iCade V2 has connections for a trackball. Let's see, I haven't had direct experience with this, but yeah, I haven't worked with an iCade V2. I haven't had direct experience with this, but if it is set up to receive a trackball, then it should work. Otherwise, you may want to ask Andy at Altmark before purchasing, just to be sure. If you're Andy, watching Andy, see, I'm referring him to you, because I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. And I'll tell the guy, hey, look, I talked about your stuff on the page. Oh, String Blaster Oliver. No, I haven't. I need to check with him on this. He's asking about, Andy's going to be making some of his own buttons at some point, and I definitely want to see those. For video, sorry for me, there's one question. If I configure the iPad LED blinky in Windows, could I work if I use with RetroPie? Thank you for the video. Sorry for me, just one question. If I configure the iPad I/O LEDs via LED blinking in Windows, the LED blinky orders the iPad how to handle the car, or how to handle the lights. Nothing is stored on the board. I believe with RetroPie you use a different OS that doesn't support LED blinky. I think you would need to set up the LED controller software that RetroPie uses. And let me verify that information. RetroPie LED control. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm not crazy. Not crazy. Okay. I'm not crazy. That's good. Don't like being crazy. Alright, so let me see. We've got just a couple more left. Hope you don't mind. I have 2 questions. Why would I mind? I'm telling you guys to email me. Do I understand correctly that you use a little USB board? Nothing else is needed. You just connect it to the board and then plug in the USB cable to the other side. Plug the cable into the USB port. And it functions as a one-axis mouse. Yeah, that's all it is. That is all it is. This is from Lurker. I don't know what the hell that is. But, yes. That is all it is. A little board. And it acts. As it keeps the inside clean. You must order it with the spin track, though. There is a version that doesn't have the USB controller board. So he's asking about the spin track and the controller board. He was saying, is it that all it is? It's just a little board that hooks up? And yeah, that's all it is. Let's see. How's the default sensitivity? I'd like to use it with some other emulators. As far as I know, don't offer sensitivity adjustments like WinUAE. These is either use a mouse to simulate paddles, or in the case of the mouse is used to play breakout style. So the spin track registers mouse can control the games that would normally use paddles and mouse. I'm just wondering if the sensitivity is very high, very low, or just right. It's subjective, but so in my experience, it's been a good setting. You can adjust through Windows if needed. However, I've been able to configure the sensitivity in MAME at times. By default, it seemed pretty accurate. Yeah. Sorry if the sensitivity is very high, just right. Okay. Cool. So now I'll hit like on his, so I know next time that I did this. Thank you for all your videos, Primecade. Hey, no problem. It looks like with a name like Primecade, oh, he liked my video. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to give this guy a shout out. So, guys, there's this guy called Primecade. Let me throw up his channel right here. Let me throw off the chat for a moment. Throw that off. So, this is Primecade. I'm about to check him out more. He's only got 14 subscribers right now. Let's see if we can get that up. Maybe motivate him to keep putting up some more videos. Looks like, ooh, and he might have some information about Hyper Studio. That would be good. So I'm going to go ahead and tell him that we gave him a little shout out. Showed him some love. That'd be awesome. Yeah, stick together. So, let's see. I'm going to say, reply. Let's see. I'm going to say, gave you a shout out in my live stream. Let's see, I'm planning to build a pedestal arcade, which will handle 10 players, 10 buttons per player. Yes, 10. Which encoder should I get to control the lighting for all the buttons? Oh. Now, that's a good question. The question is, I plan to build a pedestal arcade which will handle 10 buttons per player. Yes, 10 buttons. What encoder should I get in order to control the lighting for all the buttons? Does LED Blinky handle several encoders? Now, from what I understand, LED Blinky can handle 2 controllers, but one of them would be just as a static lighting. I don't think it handles 2 controllers simultaneously. I don't believe it does that, but I'm not 100% sure. 10 per player for how many players? You can do several encoders for inputs, but I'm not sure about the LEDs. Are you doing RGB buttons for all your buttons? I believe you may want to check with the guy at LED Blinky, but I believe primarily it can interact with one board and a second board as static cabinet lights. But I believe for changing RGB, only one controller at a time. Here's 2. Okay, you do use 2 pack LEDs for the RGB buttons, and LED Blinky can control multiple ones at the same time. Is that correct? So in LED Blinky, does it show the inputs for multiple boards in one layout? If that makes sense. Okay. According to one of my users, if you used multiple pack LED 64s or other controllers for the LEDs. LED blinky should handle it. Or at least it does in his case. Hey, Justin, do you mind if I mention your name in the response to this guy? Since you have that set up, I don't have that set up, so I can't be as specific. We're all a happy community. Come on. Say, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, well, actually, I don't know if I can tag you at all. But, let me see. His name is Justin Fugate. And he uses a setup with multiple LED controllers. He's a pretty smart guy. Alright. So, the name of the guy, if you want to go and attach the picture, that's his name, and he had written that comment on the LED Blinky Part 1. LED Blinky Part 1 video. So if you want to go and introduce yourself and throw that up there, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've got no ego to bruise if other people are helping answer, man. It's community. All of us got to help each other, and there's not many of us doing this cool ass geeky thing. I've had a lot of friends who are like, "Holy shit, that's awesome! I wish I knew how to do that." But there's very few of us that actually know how to do it. So we gotta stick together. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if there is anything else. I think I've got all my comments. Let me go to my dashboard. So the texting did actually work really well on there. We've got all these questions. Yeah, I think everything's been answered, man. It's awesome. I said other people too, man. If you guys got your own channels and you're uploading stuff, man, let me know. I'll go ahead and do it. I'm just surprised, man. We got 600 subscribers, 663 subscribers. Dude, I think I lost one. Oh, I kicked him because he was like trolling. What's this? Oh. Alright, so sorry, that was the video of the other thing coming in. Alright, well, if does anybody else have any other questions? Yes, no, maybe so. Looks like we still got Antonio on here. Hi, Antonio. I appreciate you being my first and only Discord participant so far. Let's see here. Warning, though I thought I wired it up perfectly, but setting up a controller's map in LED, the default animations for intros is all over the place and the game works fine. The default animations for intros. Oh, you talking about the ones that come with the LED blinky? Because I've noticed when you screw with the when you load those up, it doesn't, like, if you have one whole controller configured and then you go and add a second controller, the mappings don't stay. They don't port over correctly. I noticed that when I had to change from one Ultimark controller to another Ultimark controller. I just switched out the parts, and it didn't actually map everything one-to-one. It reassigned things. So I ended up having to recreate my animations. That kind of sucked. But if you were to create all those, create your own animations and everything like that, it should work fine, correct, Justin? The most modern games that I have on mine are like PS2 games. I have some PS2 games and PS1 games. What are you talking about as far as modern? With how helpful you are, Justin, you really should get Discord next time. Yeah, I've got a color fading, chasing white, like all the colors are fading and the little white light is chasing during my screensaver. Oh, I do have Steam games on there. I have Portal for my kids, and I've got Half-Life on there. And I guess I could put PUBG on there, but I'd rather play that on my desktop here. Why, what's your question, sir? Through all the trouble setting up Steam on my arcade, only to find it's easy to set up a Shovel Knight in Street Fighter 4. Oh. Yeah, I didn't have much problem setting up on mine, but that's also because for most of the Steam games, I still have a remote mouse and keyboard. So that way, if they're playing a PC game, they can still use the mouse and keyboard. Because I have a lot of DOS games on my machine too. So I just did wireless so I can stow the keyboard out of the way when I'm not playing a DOS game. Or are you talking about trying to map the joysticks and stuff like that? Because for what you could do for Steam games is run. There's an application that does mapping of joysticks to key commands. And that's one thing you may want to consider doing is when you launch a Steam game, launch that into resident memory. But I had to use an Xbox controller for most of the games. Yeah, there's definitely no love. What you may have to do is look at using a remapper software to remap to inputs that will work for the various games. It's a pain in the ass and it takes a lot of tedious setup to get it to work just right, but if you want to do it right, that's probably going to be the best option for you, is to just do a remap. No problem, man. Alright, well, I think it's about time to go ahead and sign off. Wow, been on here an hour and a half. Much better than last time. We got an actual guy, got Antonio on our Discord. Get some more people playing soon. And so what I'm probably going to do is in 2 weeks set up another live thing. The original live event that I had scheduled just didn't work right. And that was stupid and annoying because it was trying to do a Google thing. So I'll probably pick a different date. I gotta see. But just keep an eye out for it. I'm thinking this is the way I'll answer viewer mail and stuff like that, because then the people get to have their little moment in the sun and I get to make sure to answer everybody's questions. And in some cases, like Antonio, actually answer their questions straight up. So that was awesome. You guys have a great night. Thank you again for supporting me. We got over 660 subscribers and it keeps growing. And I'm loving getting to deal with you guys and have a little community of geeks. So anyway, take it easy, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Gotta find my button.